Hey there, welcome to Strange and Interesting World. Today, we're going to dive into the dark world of crime and explore the most famous unsolved murders in history. From the legendary case of Jack the Ripper to the mysterious death of the Black Dahlia, these murders have remained unsolved for decades and continue to baffle investigators to this day. Before we start, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. Despite the fact that we find these cases to be fascinating and interesting, we are aware that they involve real people and families who have suffered greatly as a result of these tragedies. We will do our best to handle the subject matter with sensitivity and respect. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Jack the Ripper, London. We start our list with the most notorious serial killer of all time, Jack the Ripper. In 1888, a series of brutal murders took place in the Whitechapel district of London, and the killer was never caught. The murders were brutal, and the killer taunted the police with letters and cryptic messages. This has made the case one of the most famous and mysterious in criminal history. Number 9. The Black Dahlia, Los Angeles. Next up, we have the case of the Black Dahlia, a young woman named Elizabeth Short whose body was found brutally mutilated in a vacant lot in Los Angeles in 1947. The case captivated the public's imagination and continues to fascinate people to this day. Despite numerous suspects and countless theories, the killer has never been identified. Number 8. The Axeman of New Orleans, New Orleans. Moving on, we have the Axeman of New Orleans, a serial killer who terrorized the city in 1918 and 1919. The killer targeted Italian immigrants and used an axe to bludgeon his victims to death. Despite several suspects, the Axeman was never caught and his identity remains a mystery. Number 7. The Boy in the Box, Philadelphia. Fourth on our list is the case of the Boy in the Box, a young boy whose body was found in a cardboard box in a wooded area of Philadelphia in 1957. The boy was never identified and the case remains unsolved to this day. Despite numerous leads and theories, the identity of the boy and the killer remains a mystery. Number 6. The Zodiac Killer, Northern California. Next, we have the infamous Zodiac Killer, a serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The killer sent taunting letters to the press and police, and even included cryptograms that were never fully deciphered. Despite numerous suspects and investigations, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains unknown. Number 5. The Hinterkaifeck Murders, Germany. Moving across the Atlantic, we have the Hinterkaifeck Murders, a gruesome family slaying that took place in a remote farmstead in Germany in 1922. Despite an extensive investigation, no suspects were ever identified and the case remains unsolved to this day. Number 4. The Isdal Woman, Bergen, Norway. Next up, we have the mysterious case of the Isdal Woman, an unidentified woman who was found dead in Bergen, Norway in 1970. The woman's body was badly burned, and the investigation uncovered several fake identities and coded messages. Despite extensive investigation, the identity of the Isdal Woman and the circumstances of her death remain a mystery. Number 3. The Somerton Man, Adelaide, Australia. Moving down under, we have the case of the Somerton Man, a man found dead on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia in 1948. The man had no identification on him, and the circumstances of his death were highly suspicious. The case has inspired numerous theories and investigations, but the identity of the Somerton Man and the circumstances of his death remain a mystery. Number 2. The Kenny Cabin Murders, California. Last but not least, we have the Kenny Cabin Murders, a gruesome family slaying that took place in a remote cabin in California in 1981. The killer brutally murdered 4 members of the Sharp family, including 2 children and a family friend. Despite numerous suspects and investigations, the case remains unsolved to this day. Number 1. The Villisca Axe Murders, Villisca, Iowa. The Villisca Axe Murders are one of the most brutal and baffling unsolved murders in American history. In 1912, 6 members of the Moore family and 2 young guests were bludgeoned to death with an axe in their home in Villisca, Iowa. The killer left behind few clues, and despite numerous investigations and suspects, the case remains unsolved. And there you have it, the top 10 most famous unsolved murders in history. These cases continue to baffle investigators and captivate the public's imagination. While we may never know the truth behind these tragedies, we can honor the victims by keeping their memories alive and continuing to search for answers. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it enjoyable. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future content. And if you have any thoughts or questions about what you just watched, please leave a comment down below. We love hearing from our viewers and appreciate your feedback. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.